Okay, welcome everybody. This is our Monday Night Presents edition of Abundance with Young Living. I was mentioning before we hit record that this is very likely not a typical Abundance with Young Living class that you've ever been to. No PowerPoint, no breakdown of your OGV, your PGV, your all the V's, your all the O's. We're just going to talk about 8 reasons why you should consider a Young Living business. And I'm going to be bossy and say, you should consider this, but I'm going to tell you why. But we're also going to dive into about 7 reasons why you have objections. This is a great one to really break it down and think about if you currently are doing a Young Living business. I'm going to challenge you to really think about the objections that we talk about. Also, really think about the reasons why we talk about perhaps considering a Young Living business, especially if you already do it, because sometimes we need to revisit our why. I love saying chase the why. I've heard a lot of people in this business and network marketing say, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. I'm going to go ahead and say that's kind of baloney. I'm just going to say it. Look, I said it. It's out there. Sorry, guys. There are times when, especially if you had things like I've had happen in my life that make me cry, but I've gotten through it. And so if my why is pulling at my heartstrings, some days I can be like, you know what? I just don't want it that bad. I'll shed a tear, use my Kleenex, and move along. So really, sometimes the why, it's not about the why. It's about chasing, just being tenacious with your dream, if I can say that. So let's dive in. There's a variety of reasons why you guys are here. All of you on here. There's a variety of why you're watching this on YouTube later. Maybe you need something to watch while you're on the treadmill at the gym. I don't know. Maybe somebody sent this to you, or someone, if you're on here tonight live, they're saying, come on, just listen to what this girl has to say, and let's have a conversation about it. You might be curious. Your friend maybe you joined tonight. There's a ton of reasons. But here's the deal. Here is the deal. Are you guys ready for the deal? The deal is Young Living is not about, we're not trying to sell you something that you don't need. We're not selling you another pair of leggings or a purse or a basket or anything like that. Guys, there is a reason why every single one of you should really, really consider doing Young Living as a business. Really consider it. My job, my passion, my ministry in life is to help people live and do better. I see a need and I think, you need this. You should do this. My friend Maribel's on here tonight. She's going to laugh, but every time I talk about leggings or yoga pants, I'm like, you know what you need? You need Fabletics. My friend Maribel has introduced me to Lululemon. You also need those. That will change your life for the better. Gentlemen as well. But here's the thing. If you are interested in having residual income, guys, write that word down, residual income. Here's why. Recently, I really learned and broke down what residual income looks like as we move on through life. And maybe you're like me and how I was, I'll go with 5 years ago, where I think, we're just going to let the chips fall where they may. We had a little retirement, paying in through Bank of America, and we're doing our dues, right? We're paying our dues just like every other working stiff in America. And what the reality is that most of us, whatever we pay into our retirement, most of us are going to retire living on $1,200 to $800 a month. Now, I don't know about you. That's not very much money. I'm not going to embarrass myself and do the math in front of God and everybody right now. That's not very much money a year. And so here's what happens is we work 40 years, and then at the end of our time of working, we stop, and now you hear about this fixed income. Guys, I like things, and I like Tom's shoes, and apparently yoga pants. I'm going to need more than $800 to $1,200 a month, and I guarantee you guys will too. And here's the other deal. The other deal is God called us to live life in abundance. He called us to thrive. Nowhere in Scripture does it talk about retirement. I'm going to go ahead and just let that mic just drop on you guys while I sip my hot tea. Retirement is an American culture. And the sad thing is people retire. Many people end up keeling over because they have no purpose in life. Their purpose that they've done for 40 years is now swept out from underneath them. And then what do? There's nothing left. Also, there's a lack in finances. So double whammy, no purpose, no money. We're not meant to just sit on the porch and rock. So here we go. 8 reasons to consider Young Living business, as if those 2 reasons were not compelling enough. Go ahead. I'm going to give you some more. Number 1, there is no ceiling income. Raise your hand if you're on this call tonight, show of hands, if you work another business other than Young Living. Okay, Trish, yeah, you, Scott. Okay, so those of you guys who do work, and if you're watching this later, you might be like, well, no one can see me, but I still raise my hand, because you're probably like me. I raise my hand while I'm listening because you told me to. If you work a job, people call it their real job, their paycheck job, whatever, and there is a ceiling income, that means you cannot make more than a certain amount, what your company has said. My husband worked for Bank of America for 16 years. And there was a ceiling. There was only so much he could go. There was only so much he could make because his bosses were the judge of what band he was in, what level in the company. If your company has no ceiling income, we should talk later. But chances are, if you're in corporate America or something other than network marketing, you have a ceiling. That's just the way things work. My favorite, and we'll talk about this in a minute, is when people say, and no, people really don't say this that much anymore. I think we say it in jest. Oh, network marketing, it's a pyramid scheme. No, my friends, corporate America is a pyramid scheme. You spend all this time and all this energy pouring in, and only one guy, 2 guys, 1 girl, 2 girls make the most money. And you can never get to the top. Number 2, the timing has never, I'll say it again, the timing has never been better to get in with Young Living. And I'm not going to say with network marketing. I'm going to say with Young Living. I don't know about any other network marketing companies. I've never tried any others. I did have a Stampin' Up! Account because I super love stickers and stamps. I'd spend $1 million on stickers. That is my weakness. My birthday is May 28th. My favorite color is blue. Stickers and stamps. Everybody. But I never tried to do it as a business. So if you've ever done any network marketing business and you're like, that didn't work, listen. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about Young Living. There was a huge boom in network marketing. There was a huge boom in Young Living 2014, 2015, maybe even 2013, where it seemed like people bought a starter kit and the next week they were Royal Crown Diamond. It felt that way. It was like, wow, all these people are making all this money. And so now, consequently, what happens is people get into the business and they talk to, 10 people and they find out, you already do oils, right? And you might say to yourself, the market is saturated. No. There are, I think, my son right here, he'd correct me. Maybe one of you guys can correct me. I think there's 7 billion people on the planet-ish, right? And there's 4 million members-ish in Young Living. So 7 billion people on the planet, 4 million members. There's a disparity of numbers there. Wouldn't you guys agree? There's some room for growth. Like, nod your head if you're like thinking that 7 million is a little bit bigger than 4 million. Yeah? So if somebody says to me the market is saturated, I'm like, I feel like we need to get our calculators out now and let's do the math on this. There's still a lot of room for growth. I meet people every day as I use my oils out in public on account of I can't go an hour without using them. Not because I'm trying to sell everybody, but that's just me. I just love my oils. Love my cough drops because spring. And folks say, what are you doing? What's essential oils? Have you heard of it? No. What's that? And I'm like, do you live under a rock? But it's true, you guys. There are people still down at Trader Joe's in Plano and McKinney that don't even know what essential oils were. We were not just lucky. Those of us who are platinum and above, diamond and above, we were not just lucky. We did not get in at the right time. We didn't. There are still oodles of people. And I dare say, if you are just now considering a Young Living business, there has not been a better time. You have so many resources at your fingertips. It's so simple. They're handing you a business and a how-to on a platter. You should run with it and go be successful. Number 3, you're your own boss and you have your own schedule. I don't really think I need to dive into that more than just you're your own boss and you make your own schedule. You have one of my favorite planners, and this really seals the deal. It kind of drives the point home, is the Passion Planner. That's just me. I like color coding. It makes it fun. But you guys, look, it's black and white. It's completely a blank slate, just like my days. I master how my day goes. I master my schedule. I'm the boss. Being an only child, I love being the boss. Being a mom of 5 kids, I love being the boss. It speaks to me. And so when I look at that and I think, this business is amazing. I can be my boss. I can make my own schedule. I can work at midnight after we're done with this call. I can get up at 4 a.m. and do some work and reach out to people not in my state who are hours ahead of me. Number 4, it's a willable income. You guys, this is huge. For those of you who still work in corporate America, or maybe you don't have, maybe you even own your own business, but it's not, if you're not there, you have to keep it going. It won't thrive without you. Most businesses you cannot will. When my husband worked for Bank of America, the only thing we had, and not through Bank of America, was life insurance on him. That was it. There was like a little life insurance that if he keeled over, then they would give us that, but there was no willable income. He could not will his Bank of America paycheck to me. In Young Living, once you make $3,000 a month, you can will that to anybody. If you are single and you have a favorite charity organization, great. They're going to be blessed, truly blessed when you die. Willable income, that's huge. Number 5, you can take time off and you can still get paid. My son's birthday was Saturday. Normally Saturdays I teach, Saturdays I work, but I could take the whole day off. And guess what? My OGV went up. I will still collect a paycheck in March. I collected a paycheck on Saturday, whether I work or not. Now, hear me. If you don't work for a year or 2 years, I'm not going to say your business is going to thrive. But what I'm saying is you can take a couple weeks off. We went to the East Coast about a year and a half ago, and I led a team meeting just super quick, 20 minutes on the subway. It's the best thing ever. And then you can go about your day. Take time off and still get paid. If you have a family crisis, you see all these people posting up on social media with all the falling below the wellness line and all the nonsense, and they're lamenting about having to take time off work or school or what have you. That's not your story. If you have a day where you feel a little under the weather, you can call in because you're your boss. We'll go back to number 3. Number 6, relationships. And all the introverts were like, no. Do we need more people in our lives? Yeah, relationships are good. God meant us to be in community, guys. But you can have relationships. Like attracts like. All my sweet introvert friends have attracted each other and me. I'm like the one extrovert they know, and they're totally pleased with that, right? Introverts, yes, Trish, right? You guys are like, no, we don't need any more than that. But the relationships are the best because you find some of your best friends in this business. You have a common ground. Again, Young Living is different than anything else. It's not clothes. It's not pots and pans. It's not baskets. It's not bags. It's not extra stuff that's just going to burn anyway or decay or what have you. Essential oils, they are healing. They are powerful. They're life-giving. And when you have a community of people who are into wellness and who are into health and bettering their community and bettering their health, there's power in that. The relationships just happen to get deeper and richer. So much personal growth happens, and you have community around you to have that happen with. Number 7, you have guaranteed bonuses. Guaranteed bonuses. If you decide to do a Young Living business, this is when you need to get with your upline. Number 7 and number 8. You'll need to get with your upline. And they will tell you about, if I'm your upline, get with me. They will tell you about those built-in bonuses at all the ranks. So the ranking in Young Living starts at silver. No, well, yes, let's just go there, right? Sorry, I have to back up. It starts technically at star. And then we go to senior star, and then we go to executive, and then the silver, and then gold, platinum, diamond, and crown, and royal crown diamond. At every rank, even at star, there are built-in bonuses. Every rank, guys. But again, if you decide to do this, then you have your crash course in the income disclosure and how you get paid. It's really important to learn that. But right now, if we talk about it, you'll be like, oh my gosh, she really does sound like Elmo, and now I'm bored. So just know there's built-in bonuses. Number 8, financial freedom. Financial freedom. If anybody is a Dave Ramsey fan, he talks about financial freedom, paying off debt. I was just trying to think of the number. The majority of our country is at least $30,000 in debt. That's the average. The average income in our country is $56,000 a year. Again, if we look at those numbers, something's not adding up here. That $30,000 worth of debt, if you pay just the minimum, will take you 30 years. It's like a mortgage. That's not including your home. So a lot of folks are financially imprisoned, enslaved, and they are not walking in the freedom that we were designed to walk in. Debt is not bad, sin, evil, all those things. What debt does is it enslaves you. The borrower is slave to the lender. That's all. It just means that rather than being uber generous with whatever comes by, whatever comes your way, you're trapped thinking, ooh, yeah, I've got these bills that I have to pay. But with Young Living, you can work it in such a way that you can become financially free with your residual income. You are your own boss. You can increase your income as much or as little as you want. There is freedom that you can find in that. There's abundance. Part of our mission statement is to find wellness, purpose, and abundance. Most of us who are at the older ranks, at gold, at platinum, at diamond, did not set out. Now, some people do set out from starter kit and they said, I'm going to do this business, I'm going to go for it. But most of us just got out for the wellness part. And the purpose kind of rolled in, and we just started sharing with people because we super love oils and our supplements. And it just so happened that now we find abundance. But hear me, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Not at all. Not at all. There's people who go from starter kit to RCD in 12 months, 15 months. They're unicorns. They're very few and far between in this business. And I don't mean to downplay anything that they have done. My God, they've worked so hard. They've worked hard for what they have. But that is not the norm. If you look at the income disclosure, it'll show you the average amount of months that it takes to from your starter kit to get to the different ranks, younger and older ranks. And there is an average, and there is a learning curve, and there is a pace. I love that quote from scripture that says, money that's gained easily goes away quickly. Remember that. If you are doing a Young Living business, and you're like, I'm not growing as fast as I can. Remember that. Money that's gained easily goes away quickly. Perhaps there's a reason. My husband and I, I'll tell you this story about that. My husband and I really felt that we needed to learn to handle money better before we could graduate from gold to platinum. So we took Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace course. Hand to God. We finished it the first week of March. 3 weeks later, not March, oh my word, what month was it? November. 3 weeks later, we ranked up to platinum. I'm like, oh, well, look at that. It was like, okay, you can handle this kind of abundance now. I'm not saying that that's going to be your story, but I'm just saying there's power in knowing where you stand with the finances. It is not a get rich quick scheme. We work hard. On our team works very hard. We have a lot of people on our team that have ranked twice in a month. So like senior star and executive all in 1 month. They started the month at star and then did senior star and executive. That is not uncommon in our team, but it's because they work it. And here's the thing, they learn along the way. They're very coachable. Again, they work hard. They look for opportunities. the opportunities that are put before them. They blast through the objections. Our team works hard, but we're not PSK pushers. We help folks look at their health differently. And I want to challenge you guys, if you are considering a Young Living business, please hear me. Don't be a PSK pusher. Please don't. This is just Gen Weird. This is not Young Living. This is not, if you're not my upline, this is not maybe something that your upline would agree with, but please, please, please don't post, here's our starter kit, you should buy it. Don't do that. Like, for reals. In 2018, everybody knows what a starter kit looks like. Everybody. We get it. You do oils. Yay. Now, the WIFM. What's in it for me? You're showing me the starter kit. Yeah, so? It's 11 oils. I have no idea what in the world to do with it. Guys, give them the what's in it for me. Tonight, it just so happened I used Copaiba because, you know, my head and the wind and the pounding. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know about this oil because it worked like that. And so I posted that. But I'm not going to go, oh, P.S., if you want yours, here's my link. They know I do oils. If someone comments like, wow, that's really cool, I might comment back, hey, have you ever thought about trying it? Have you used it? How has it worked for you? Relationship, conversation. Remember C number 6, relationships in this business. This is how that works. All right, let's talk about objections because everybody has them. Even us doing this as a business. Sometimes daily we're like, should I still be doing this? Because I was really good at cutting hair because I did that for 100 years. I could do that in my sleep. Sometimes network marketing, it's not for the faint of heart. Objection number 1, you should write these down because see if any of these resonate with you, even if you've been doing this business for a while. I'm not good at sales. Raise your hand if you've ever said that. All of you lie. I'm just being nice. We all lie. I've said it. I'm not good at this. You guys, recently, and I'm going to talk about this tomorrow night, no spoilers, but I said, I'm just really not that good at network marketing. I said this to a Royal Crown Diamond. I was on my platinum retreat. She just looked at me and said, you must be doing something right. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Point taken. I mean, and she kind of had this like super harsh, like my mom look, like she's probably going to spank me if she were my mom for saying that. We've all said it. And yet, if I said to you guys, and I know you know the analogy, hey, can you tell me a good Italian restaurant? Every single one of you like, you should go here. And you might even argue with me if I say, I don't like Palio's. Oh, I don't like this one. You'd be like, listen, then you just haven't been there. You just don't know. You can all passionately tell me about your favorite Italian restaurant, unless you don't like Italian, in which case you say, you know what? Italian's crap, but what you really need is Mexican food. Now that's where it's at. And then you could tell me all the things about that, right? I know you all can. I could almost get you to buy season tickets to any baseball game because I am that passionate about baseball. I could almost get you there. Almost. We're all great at sales, as long as the caveat is we have to be passionate about it. And now listen to me, guys. If you're like, I'm just not feeling it with the oils. My son, who's 16 and a half, he has a Young Living business. We were talking about it. He goes, Mom, what if I only want to do this to make money? And I'm like, welcome to America. Welcome to every reason why people wake up in the morning and go to work is for the money. Sometimes the money is the reason why we want to do this. And that is okay. I'll talk about money mindset in a minute. That is absolutely okay because money in the hands of good people can do a lot of good. Thank you, Mary Young, for saying that. Number 2, I don't want to bug people. Good, because they don't want to be bugged. So here's what you're not going to do. You are not going to decide, I'm going to do a Young Living business, and now every person that I know on social media, in my phone book, and everything, and be like, hey, you want to buy my starter kit? Hey, you want to buy my starter kit? Hey, you want to buy my starter kit? Like, even me saying that, I'm totally annoying myself. But what you are going to do is you're going to start using your stuff, and you're going to start seeing changes, and you're going to start feeling better, or whatever. more joyful, and you're going to start telling people about it. And you're going to become an abundance magnet because you can't help yourself but talk about it. You can't help yourself. You're not going to bug people. And here's the thing. If they're like, dadgummit, I wish Trish would stop talking about oils, that's on them. That's their issue. You guys, I hid people in our organization when I first got my oils because I was weary of them talking about Young Living. Guess whose issue that was? My issue. I had hangups about it because I didn't understand it. Now I'm like with my tail between my legs, you guys are amazing. I'm so glad you talked about it so much. Look who's laughing, right? Number 3, I don't know anybody. The average person knows 3,000 people. Did you guys know that? If we all had time, but you know, there it is, to write down all the people in our circles. And then who those people know. And the people who you know that you see regularly at the market, the people at your jobs, and on and on and on it goes. Everybody knows people. I have to pause right here because I see Scott's question. He says, am I weird that I really love what I do for my 9 to 5? Not at all, Scott. Absolutely not. I loved cutting hair. I still love cutting hair. Love it. It's not who I am. My identity is not in cutting hair, but it's like I lived and breathed hair cutting and hair color for so long. And I'm sure you love your job. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's just power in knowing how to take control of your finances and doing maybe, as we call it, like a side hustle, that residual income. Everybody's reasons for doing Young Living are so different. You might want to do your 9 to 5 and then do this side hustle over here just so that when you're done with your 9 to 5, maybe you physically can't do it anymore. You've got this other thing just up and running. You guys, I cut hair for, I would say 100 years, but when I do the math, I'm like, wow, it was really only 25 at this point. Actually, when I quit, it was 24. My body could not take standing on my feet that much longer. I stood on my feet through 5 big pregnancies. My shoulder, it's just not physically possible without being in a lot of pain. But I still loved it. So thank you for asking that question, Scott. I really appreciate that. Number 4, network marketing doesn't work for regular people. I'm going to go with no, that's not a thing. My direct upline is April Pointer. And then I have crossline sisters, I call them. All of us were her friends through homeschooling. We were just regular women who homeschooled their kids, who ate crunchy food and talked about being healthy, or talked about ways to not get our kids sick, or talked about ways to feed whole foods, no crap. We're just regular people. Like, I don't know what that, when I've heard people say, well, I'm just a regular person. What does that even mean? I think what they mean is that maybe they don't have a blog. Maybe they're not social media famous. Maybe they don't have a 6,000 person following. That's great, because you're going to develop relationships with people and you're going to be able to actually help people that you actually know. It totally works for the regular guy. Number 5, money doesn't mean that much to me. It's not important. Remember what I said at number 1? If you guys say that you lie, I'm going to say that too on number 5. I mean, no disrespect, none at all. But here's the thing. People that say that, then I'm going to ask you, well, how come you're not homeless? Why are you wearing clothes right now? Why are you driving a car? It's that kind of thing. Money doesn't mean that much to me, and it's really not that important. It kind of is. Money is how we eat. Money is how we pay our bills. Money is how we don't freeze our biscuits off here in South Texas or mid-North Texas, wherever we are. When we say things like that, what we're really saying is, I don't have a really good view of money, so I don't even know what to say about it. So I'm just going to say, I really don't care about money because I don't understand it. I don't know what to do with it. And hear me, guys, when we started making money from Young Living, this was my poverty mindset. I literally called a friend and said, I'm making all this money with this company. And I need you to tell me if there's anyone who needs it, because I'm just going to give it to them. It wasn't because I'm so generous. It was because I knew if I kept that money, I would have about 50 pairs of Toms and an untold amount of hoodies. Like, I knew I would waste it. I knew at the time I just wasn't good with a lot of money. And I would talk to other members and Young Living leaders, and we would talk about, Royal Crown Diamond money. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And so we didn't have an income disclosure at that time. P.S. For those of you guys who are new, you're welcome for that income disclosure. Like, we just were kind of guessing at what people made just based on what we knew. And one lady was like, well, I don't know. Like, I think they make like 100 and 150,000 a month. I'm like, what? That's like stupid money. Nobody needs that kind of money. And you guys, that's the point. Nobody needs that kind of money. But guess what? I'll go back to what Mary Young said. Money in the hands of good people can do a lot of good. There's a lot of hurt in the world. There's a lot of hunger. There's a lot of needs. And I will go so far as to say there's a lot of puppies and kitties who are homeless, who are getting euthanized, that perhaps that's your bent. My husband says we're going to be this weird old couple with like tons of bulldogs and tons of stray dogs and cats once we get done raising our army of kids. But when you have buckets of money, you can do that. You can do a lot of good. Money is important. Money is a brick. Money is like this cup, right? With a brick, with my cup, you can throw it through a window and break the window. With a brick, you can throw it through a window and shatter the window. You can shatter a car. You can also build a hospital. You can build a house. You can do all kinds of good things with it. Money in the hands of good people can do a lot of good. It's just an instrument. It's just an object. Number 6. We mentioned this before, but network marketing is really a pyramid scheme. Those are objections that folks have. Still, I know 2018, I'm like, it's really not. Have you seen the videos, guys? It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not. I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but it's just not. I'm sure none of you guys are thinking that, but if you have family members, as you're like, hey, I'm doing this Young Living business, and they say to you, it's a pyramid scheme. What are you getting involved in that? And just go, are you serious with that? And just like draw out how you get paid. Number 7, you don't want to get stuck with product. Awesome, because you won't. With network marketing, sometimes you have to buy a bunch of product so that you can resell it. With Young Living, the investment is your starter kit. If you already have a starter kit, perfect. You're in. That's all you need. That's all you need. If you want more skin in the game, if you want to have what we call flip kits, where you can buy extra starter kits so that you have something to give somebody right there to class or right there at the gym or wherever it is that you do your business the most, that's great. It's not required. My husband and I are diamonds, we say, like we're almost diamond. It's like my new rank. I like to make up words as I go. So at diamond, we have never once had a flip kit. I'm not saying we've done it right. It's never been something we've ever done. There are times we're like that couple that's like, you know how we really should do that? We really should get a flip kit. That seems like a good idea. And we just never have. But I also know, like my friend Maribel's on tonight, she has done that and she is ranked to silver and almost gold super fast. And she has flip kits. So perhaps that has increased her pace. I would love to do some research on that. But again, all you need is your starter kit and you're off and running. The extra product that Young Living gives or that you will end up with is actually because you're going to be on Essential Rewards, spending at least 100 PV every month. That's how you get paid in Young Living, because you don't just sit around making money for nothing, right? You need to be using the product. You need to be a product of the product. But when you spend 100 PV at least, you get a free oil every month. So those are your extra products. But on a side note, the reason why Young Living gives us that is number 1, so that we can try new things. so that we know how they work. We can speak to that product. We can speak to the enzymes. We can speak to the probiotics. We can speak to the pain cream or what have you. Number two, if we've already used it, you guys, that's meant for us to sample and share. When this most recent starter kit came out, they had cards in there and they would say, love it, share it. So if you loved your oils, you were meant to share it. They gave you 10 sample bottles, and those weren't meant for us to keep in our purses or our gym bags or our backpacks. They were meant for us to give. I mean, Young Living is one of the most generous companies I've ever known. Everything they do is for a purpose. And so that was for them to say, hey, if you love your stuff, share it with a friend, with a family member, share it. And guys, here's the other thing. As we think about sharing it, you share it with a friend and they love it. And then there's this like kind of weirdness. I'll just speak to this for a moment because I feel like somebody might need to hear this. There's this weirdness where we don't want to go, okay, if you love it, here, this is how you get it. And then we start going, but I don't want to bug them. But here's me. If it worked for you and your whatever cleared up or your situation is better or your issues in your tissues are resolving because of that sample I shared with you, my question to you is, well, why wouldn't you want to keep doing that? I'm not bugging you. I'm just simply asking you a question. But we have this blocker of like, now we're about to have an exchange of money and now we feel strange. And this is when we get not successful. And so I want to put this little scenario in your mind. We sell to people all the time, and we're constantly being sold to. Raise your hand if you love going to the car dealership. No one raises their hand. I love it, guys. You know what I don't love? Where is he? I don't love my husband haggling with the guy because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is his job. But he's like, that's part of the dance. That's part of what you're supposed to do. I'm like, just give him $100,000. No, not really. Just however much the car costs. He's like, oh my gosh, you can't come with me. But I don't go to the Kroger and I don't go to Starbucks and be like, I'll give you $2.99 for that gallon of milk. I don't do that because they asked me for this. I need my milk. I'm going to pay them the money. I sure as heck am not going to go to Starbucks and be like, can I have that for $5 this day, not $7 that you normally charge? It's just not really part of our culture, is it? And so we don't feel bad about handing over our money, and our friends don't feel bad about handing over their money. I sure as heck didn't feel bad about charging people for their haircut. However, when we start to say, I just gave you a sample of release because you were about to have a full-blown come apart, and it worked, and now for you to get that release, here's the link that you need to click on. And we think to ourselves, oh, I'm about to make some money off them. I better just give them more of a sample. Don't do that. Guys, don't. Starbucks, when you go there and they give you a sample of their diabetes in a cup Frappuccino, they're like, and you may have a full one for $7. And you're like, yes, please. Can I have extra whip on that? My blood sugar is feeling a little low today. Right? We couldn't say to Starbucks, can I have another sample? Can I have a little bit more? I'm not quite full enough. Guys, I know you're laughing. You're thinking, that's silly, but that's what we do with our oils. Guys, these are precious. Precious. If you have not been to a Young Living farm, you're still like, but I can get them at the Whole Foods. It's not the same. Not the same. Those oils are cared for, meticulously picked. I'll tell you the story and then I promise I'll let you go. In Ecuador, the ylang-ylang flower, this just blows me away. This is one of my favorite, well, there's two Young Living harvesting stories that I super love. But the ylang-ylang, men are not allowed to harvest it, only the women. Because our hands are delicate and we work quicker with our fine motor skills. We're not like manhandling it. There's a reason why that's a term. But they only let the women go out there and harvest it. And it's best to be harvested, I think at like early morning hours. It's the most fragrant. It's the most potent. Only our company knows that on account of we are the only one that have our own farm. My second favorite story is in Idaho at the St. Mary farm. If you have a negative or a bad attitude when you come to work, you have to go home. Because the farm hand, the manager of the farm is like, my plants do not need that kind of negativity. You guys, whatever you think about frequency and positive words and environments, whatever. The point is that he feels so strongly about it, about our plants and the oils that they produce, but he only allows good attitudes and positive mindsets as you walk onto that farm. That's powerful. That's a company that you want to say, I think I want to partner with you, and I think I want on board with this. If you have your starter kit, great. You're ready. You are ready to embark on a business. You should get with your upline, whoever is your direct upline or the person that you work closely with, and talk to them. The next step after that would be talk to people. Take your oils. Look, I got to show you. I have this box. It's a little cloth case. Oh, with a hair clippy on it. You love that. On account of it's windy here. And all my oils right there at the ready. Someone's coughing in the line. I'm like, oh, hey, you look like you could use some RC. There you go. We're BFFs now. You're welcome. Somebody had Mexican for lunch with you? Pass them your digest. Be a friend. You will now have a best friend for life. So you talk to people. You host a class. If you're an introvert and you're like, oh my gosh, people scare me. No worries. You'll just grow slower. No big deal. Or not. Or not. You might just be more one-on-one. Maybe you're an introvert and you're like, I'm going to ask a friend to host with me because that will make me feel better. They're an extrovert and they don't mind. I'll just bring my oils with me. That's cool. Take the next step. If you don't have a starter kit and someone's like, hey, you should do a Young Living business, you're like, what in the world is Young Living? You need a starter kit. It's $160. You get 11 oils. I'm not going to go through all of them. That's for your friend to do. You get 11 oils, a diffuser, and a membership. It's a best investment. It's a $160 investment that can literally turn into millions. Guys, I know you're like, I thought you said it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. I didn't say it'll turn into millions overnight. I said it'll turn into millions. Any of us now who have found success in Young Living, we're sitting on multi-million-dollar businesses. It's incredible. It really is. And I hope that you've taken this seriously, and I hope you give it some thought. The 8 reasons why you should and your objections, we've debunked every single one of them. Now it's your turn. Pick a reason to do a Young Living business and go for it.